Seth, get out the kitchen. All right, I'm trying to go live. I am live. Hey, y'all. I'm live with the flu. And guess what I don't have? Capacity. And guess what I need? Capacity. I need capacity to get things done. I'm an educator and I have lessons that I need to create. How can I do this? If you don't know me, I'm Dr. Messina Morris. I'm the director of Metaverse Programs and founder of Metaverse United. I'm going to show you how I'm about to create the capacity that I need. Excuse me. With the flu. Wow. I'm down at home. So this is Holotutor AI. I'm already signed in. This is a product by Victory XR, our EdTech partners. We're using this in the Frederick Douglass Academic Success Center at Morehouse College and at KIPP Atlanta Collegiate School. And they have new features. One of the new features is that you can go and create a lesson or an AI experience. And I'm going to create 2 lessons within 10 minutes. So right now it's 12:34. So by 12:44, we should be done with our lessons. At least done enough for me to go and edit and add if I want to, but done enough for my students to be able to get what they needed from the resources that I gave them. So I was working on a solubility lesson. Is it? Solubility in complex ion equilibrium. Create a lesson on solubility in complex ion equilibria for college level chemistry. The instructor is Dr. Messina Morris. All right, that's one. And I'm going to let that keep going. And then I'm going to share this other tab because I could open it up again and press create. And I'm going to create a lesson on physical impairments for exceptional learners. Course for an exceptional learners course in education. I have the PowerPoint for that too. Learners with physical disabilities. Lessons on learners with physical disabilities and other health impairments for an exceptional learners course for pre-service education students in education department in college level education department. The instructor is Dr. Messina. I guess I could capitalize that. It's Dr. Messina Morris. All right, so I have that, and it should reference that PowerPoint for this lesson, and it'll reference the other one for the other lesson. Let's go back to the other lesson. So this is the other lesson about solubility and complex ion. It's updating slide images, it's connecting the pieces. It's been about 3 minutes. So we're creating 2 lessons. One lesson is, let me see, maybe I can pull up that at the same time. No. So one of the lessons is on solubility and equilibria in chemistry, and the other lesson is on physical health impairments and other health impairments for an exceptional learners course. So and then this is the other one. So it's also working on the narration. It's pulling from the PowerPoint slide. It is getting the narration for each slide ready. And so I'm just waiting for it to spit me out and let me know when it's ready. In the meanwhile, I can show you this. So what I have been able to do over the course of this week of having the flu, and when I say this flu is stupid, it is horrible, is I have created finally my college level chemistry course. I recreated it as I taught it when I was in chemistry. So from chemical foundations, and then there's a study guide to review, some questions, and then chapter 2, atoms, molecules, and ions, stoichiometry, types of reactions, foundation of gases, thermochemistry, atomic structure, chemical bonding, covalent bonding, and molecular orbitals, liquids and solids, properties of solutions in chemistry, chemical kinetics, chemical equilibrium, acids and bases, and acid-base equilibrium. And then this next one is the solubility one. And then I have done, prior to that, I had done the basics of the metaverse. This was before we were able to put all of our resources in there, and all of these scripts I hand wrote and created all the graphics for. But this is a great course if you want to understand the basics of the metaverse, and this will be used for my students this summer for Upward Bound. There's also, I have an emerging technologies for kids course that is here. So it talks about the metaverse unlocked Gen AI for kids, crypto kids, supercomputers, quantum computing, the Internet of Things, more AI, extended reality, biotechnology and human body systems, coding and computing, data science, 3D and digital worlds, digital citizenship and cybersecurity. And then I talk about career pathways. And I'm adding to that a couple of other things that I think need to be added about, did I do semiconductors? I think I did do semiconductors. Yeah, I'm adding semiconductors to it. But anyway. And then for my Holotutor Academy, for people who want to know everything about Holotutor, I'm giving a talk at ASU GSV this upcoming week about Holotutor AI and the always learning framework. And so there's a lesson on that. that I'm going to share with my class when I'm there. And then I did a lesson on how to ask strong questions when learning with Holotutor. So a lot of times students aren't really sure how to ask the right questions to get the right type of feedback within these lessons. And so we talk about how the hierarchy of questioning and Socratic questioning and how to ask the right questions to get the right answers. And sometimes students don't know what they don't know. Okay, so let's go back to see what our experiences are. It's choosing a voice for my avatar. It's syncing lasting data. Okay, now I'm going to continue to my experience for that one. And I'm going to go to this other one. It's choosing my avatar. It's finishing my lesson. And I'm going to continue to that experience. Now let's go back to the chemistry one. So it's going to put together my entire experience based on my PowerPoint. Now that's my PowerPoint. Those are my resources that I've used for years when teaching this particular chemistry course. And so it's going to be filtering through there. Hey Rashid, how you doing? Hey Temple. Hey Sandra. So it's loading our experience. Let me go to the other tab. It's loading. It's almost there. It's loading that one too. It's not been quite. It's like 3 minutes to 10 minutes. All right, bet. So I'm gonna go back to this one though. So the chemistry one isn't ready, but the exceptional learners one is. So okay. So this is the exceptional learners one. It talks about the chapter zeroes in on learners who have physical disabilities and other health impairments. So I want it to say who I am. So I'm going to say, hi, it's Dr. Messina Morris again. We are going to be reviewing chapter 14, which zeroes in on learners who have physical disabilities. So then it puts my learning outcomes, talks about physical impairments, the classification of it. It asks a true false question, prevalence. The interesting thing is, like, some of these PowerPoints I've had notes under, so it also has put the notes in the speech, which is wonderful. So if you have notes in your PowerPoints, those notes can become the speech for your students, which is wonderful. So it talks about cerebral palsy, it talks about, and then it gives you definitions. Okay, true, false questions, multiple choice questions, pretty thorough. It did go through everything, which is really good because if I can't make it to class, this will cover my class for an entire hour that students need to learn. And I can go back and instead of them just getting a PowerPoint, they can have an interactive PowerPoint where they can ask questions. And so you'll see as I go along with this. So it's being used. Dr. Messina Morris. I'm going to change my avatar. Change my voice. I like Trinity. They have a lot of voices, but I figured out what my voice is. And then publish it. Learners with physical ability. Make it where my students can get it. Description, instructions, save. So that one is completely done.
Cameron, your boy Anthony jumping on.
So that one is completely done. It said it lost connection to my screen share audio. Okay, let's see. So stop sharing.
I'm coming.
All right, so let's try to share this again. All right, so it's still loading that experience. That's the chemistry one, so it's pretty in depth. So I would expect it to take a little bit longer. But this experience is done and we can play it.
Hi, it's Dr. Mosina Morris again. We are going to be reviewing Chapter 14, which zeroes in on learners who have physical disabilities and other health impairments, and how those conditions intersect with schooling.
My audio went out. Doo-doo.
But some are not obvious at all. Both types can have a major impact on inner.
Okay.
Our goal is to understand these learners well enough to support them academically, socially, and emotionally. Ultimately, this chapter is about turning medical and physical information into practical educational action. The learning outcomes for this chapter center on building a solid foundation of knowledge about physical disabilities and other health impairments. We will define key terms, look at how these conditions are classified, and talk about how common they actually are in schools. You will also explore associated medical and functional issues that often come with these conditions. Another focus is on psychological and behavioral characteristics, such as how students feel about themselves. Students with physical impairments may feel marginalized if they perceive isolation, which can affect their emotional and social well-being. It's crucial to foster an inclusive environment by encouraging peer interactions and ensuring accessible classroom spaces. Strong, empathetic relationships and appropriate accommodations can help mitigate feelings of isolation. Collaboration with students to understand their needs is key. Their insights can guide personalized strategies that celebrate their strengths and promote a sense of belonging. And how they behave in class. We will examine.
So you can have it do that, and then let me see if I can get It's really taking a minute on this chemistry PowerPoint, which is very interesting, but it is solubility and equilibria, ion equilibria, which is probably trying to put together some of this, some of the equations, perhaps. Um, this is a good test experiment to see. Um, let's go back to the lesson that we've.
Two major learning outcomes involve educational considerations and life transitions. One outcome asks you to think about what effective instruction and classroom adaptation look like for students with physical disabilities and health impairments. The other invites you to understand the specific issues around early intervention and the move toward adulthood. We will look at how services start in infancy and early childhood and then change across the school years. Transition to adulthood includes planning for further education, work, independent living, and community participation. By connecting early supports with long term goals, we can help students move through each life stage with greater confidence and opportunity. When we talk about physical disabilities and other health impairments, we mean students whose physical limitations or health problems require special services or accommodations paid in school. These may involve mobility, stamina, breathing, or other bodily functions that affect attendance and engagement. Chronic asthma is considered an other health impairment, OHI, under educational guidelines, like those provided by the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA. It can affect a student's ability to perform in educational settings, requiring accommodations to manage symptoms and minimize school absences. Collaborating with healthcare providers and creating an asthma action plan can support these students in participating fully in classroom activities. Students with chronic asthma often benefit from a Section 504 plan. This plan provides accommodations to ensure they have equal access to education, like allowing for medication administration or managing environmental triggers. An individualized education program, IEP, might be appropriate if asthma significantly impacts educational performance, requiring specialized instruction. It's essential to evaluate each student's unique needs to determine the most suitable support. Typically, students have either an IEP or a 504 plan, not both. An IEP includes comprehensive services and accommodations, which cover the need addressed by a 504 plan. If a student qualifies for an IEP, it usually includes provisions similar to those in a 504 plan, but with added specialized instruction if necessary. Schools work with families to determine the best support approach based on the student's specific needs.
Hmm.
Because many of these conditions have medical
Also
aspects,
see all of the
effective
questions that you
support
already
usually
asked
depends on
in the trend.
collaboration among educators, families, physicians, therapists, and other specialists. It is important to remember that
It still hasn't gone through.
define a student's intellectual potential. Some students may have additional disabilities. Mental disorders
Also, like,
cover a range of conditions that affect muscles,
you need to
bones, and joints. Following a clear plan can provide sensitive support helps lead books, technique of devices,
the pretty
equitable
obvious
access
computer
to better
entire
interaction
hour
and play, interact
back.
and cope with challenges. By investing in early services, we increase the chances of more successful work-based learning experiences, such as internships or job shadowing, can help clarify what is feasible. Vocational rehabilitation services for physically impaired students in transition focus on preparing them for the workforce and independent living. These services may include career counseling, job training, work based learning experiences, and assistance with job placement. They also provide support in developing essential skills like resume writing, interview techniques, and workplace accommodations. Collaboration between schools, families, and vocational rehabilitation agencies is crucial to ensure a smooth transition. Tailoring services to each student's strengths and interests fosters successful, meaningful employment. And enjoyable. The ultimate goal is to support students in preparing for work that matches.
Okay, so we're still waiting on this particular lesson to get done. I'm almost tempted to like refresh the page, but it keeps saying just a minute, so I don't necessarily want to. This other one that we were working on, so it starts asking a question. In this chapter, transition planning is described as only the process of applying to college or vocational, a comprehensive process that includes moving among medical facilities, a brief meeting held in the last semester of high school, a plan designed only for students with intellect. So, like, if I got that wrong, it would light up red. It'll keep lighting up red, until I get it.
Sociosexual development is another vital component of transition planning that is often neglected for students with disabilities. Family life
So I'm really trying to not refresh this page, but what if I did? I wonder if I would have to start all over again. Yeah. Okay, college level chemistry course on solubility in ion equilibria. Instructor is Dr. Let's see no more. Oh, Jesus, back. That's what happens when you don't put your phone on Do Not Disturb. Let's see. I want to do this one. I want to add my attachment. So it's also okay because I just asked it this and I didn't add a reference slide. It's going to ask me some questions. So should this be a single lesson? or a multi-lesson mini course. So this is going to be a single lesson on solubility and ion equilibria. 1 and 2, general chemistry majors will be the audience, and an even mix of both, because I do want them to learn how to solve some problems. So now it's processing using the PowerPoint. Maybe overly ambitious trying to do them all at the same time in the same portal, but I did it before. But maybe not too large files. Yeah, I wasn't using large files. Ideally, you want your files to be 50 megabytes. Yeah, that's the big file. So I could have broke it up. But either way. Let me see if it could plug something out. And for this one, I could just go ahead and back out of it. And so now I could see all my lessons that I've created. These are all the ones that I've created. This is the one that I'm trying to create. Let's see, did it actually create it on the back end? Yeah, no, it didn't. This is the one I stopped. Okay, so it didn't create it. But these are the ones that I have created. This is the one I just created that we just went through. These are all of the ones that are on the one, and then these are courses. It's my courses. Holotutor, Emerging Tech, College Level Chemistry. Let's see. It's doing a narration. This file is probably way too big now that I think about it. But let me see if it'll plug through it anyway. I got nothing else to do but be sick, sweat, drink tea, try to be better. I really do not like this season of spring. It's just not been fun. And if you know me, just laying around ain't really what I like to do. I'm a get stuff done kind of girl. And this thing has got me on my butt. I literally have 4 asthmatics out of my 5 sons with allergies. And I have spent time in doctor's office, in urgent cares, in ERs, on breathing machines for like a week. And I am exhausted with waking up every 4 to 6 hours to put them on breathing machines. So if you have healthy children with no allergies and no ailments, thank God and just be grateful. And I'm not complaining, I'm just saying that I'm a mom that hugs her babies. So I'm not the one that goes in with the gloves and say I can't get sick. I'm not going to get sick when they're not feeling well. The one that is going to let them lay up under you and rub them down with Vicks Vapor Rub and give them hot teas. And even my big 18-year-old baby, Seth, who's on the spectrum, he's got level 3 autism. I'm going to hold him and hug him and keep him right near me in the bed until he feels safe. I'm that kind of mama. So that kind of mama now got the cooties. But it's all good. I really wanted to kick out, but I'm probably going to have to. Oh, okay, it did it. So let's go see if it can prepare the environment for it. I know I put us, I'm really putting it to the test because I definitely know it's supposed to be smaller than 50 megs, and I put in a monster size PowerPoint. So, and it's really complex information about solubility and ion equilibria. So we'll see what it comes up with. Oh, we have questions from the other one. When planning for career transitions, the slides emphasize the educator should work with students and families to develop a realistic sociosexuality, and transition planning includes attention to family life education, including sex education support. I say true.
The material in this chapter is protected by copyright and provided specifically for instructor use in teaching.
I love that because we do use text from particular people, so publishers. So we definitely use this. Hey, friend, listen, they got me down here with the flu, child. I've been these kids, but it's okay. I'm gonna be fine by Sunday. I'll be fine by Sunday. It's been a minute. So I'm just waiting for this to create. Let me share that screen back. It's almost there. So it's preparing the environment. One of the more remarkable things about Holotutor is the other types of experiences that can be had. So I'm going to share this tab. Students can also, like I said, go back and see all the transcripts, the questions that they asked. Another thing is, let me see. I dropped it. Is if students just want to I don't know. Create an image of the different of an infographic detailing what is needed in a 504 plan for a special needs student with asthma. Because I think you need an asthma action plan. So let's see if it'll tell us.
Building a visual guide for you now. It will be ready shortly.
Let's see.
A Section 504 plan ensures that a student with asthma receives a safe and supportive learning environment tailored to their health needs. This legally enforceable plan outlines medical documentation, accommodations, and roles of school staff to support the student's breathing and participation in school activities. It's developed collaboratively between parents, school personnel, and medical providers, creating clarity and protection while enabling full educational access. Key elements of the 504 plan: medical documentation, include an asthma action plan and physician documentation confirming asthma substantially limits breathing, qualifying as a disability under Section 504. Emergency protocols. Define clear steps for responding to asthma episodes, including use of quick relief medication, calling 911, and staff roles. Environmental controls. Identify and remove triggers, e.g. scented products, poor air quality, and outline classroom adjustments to minimize flare-ups. Daily accommodations. Allow access and use of asthma medication, adapt physical activities, provide rest periods, and adjust attendance off make-up work policies. Responsibilities and training. Specify who is responsible, nurse, teachers, administrators, ensure staff are trained, and establish communication channels with parents. Legal safeguards. Ensure the plan is written and distributed to all relevant staff. Parents are involved, and procedural safeguards are in place in case of disputes.
And then it created the infographic as well as explained it. So it has the medical documentation, the emergency protocols, the daily accommodations, the responsibilities and training, the environmental controls. I actually like this infographic, and I don't see any ugly I'll capture it. I don't see any ugly, like, like a lot of times, even when you get documents, it can. So, like, if I wanted it to create me.
Sounds great. I'll get flashcards prepared for you. They will be ready in just a moment.
I'll do it. So, what is a 504 plan? A legal document that ensures students with disabilities receive accommodations and support to access education. And then it could also give you the audio for it.
A 504 plan is a legal document that ensures students with disabilities receive accommodations and support to access education.
What is a 504 plan? It's under the category legal document, so that will be the hint. Key components of a 504 plan excuse me, accommodations, modifications, healthcare, blah, 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 blah. Common classroom accommodations, air quality control. Who typically creates it? Students, parents, teachers, school staff. So it has about 20. Oh God, got 20 flashcards. Okay, so then if I wanted to save them and add them to my library, I could do that. Save. And then I could also ask it to create me a quiz over 504 plan for asthma.
I'm on it. A quiz is being created for you now. It will be ready shortly.
So it also will create a quiz. So this allows students to be more self-aware and disciplined. A lot of times students don't even know how to quiz themselves on questions that they have about material, and this can help them. It does require medical documentation, access to an inhaler, who's responsible for implementing the plan, coordinator. How often should a plan be reviewed for change? Annually, definitely, but can a student with asthma qualify for both? No. Well, I take that back. Yeah, they actually can, but they usually don't, which accommodation is not needed for asthma. And so what's interesting is like this question, I could actually change if it's required, not medical documentation. Where's the other one? Because in a lot of school systems, you can qualify for both, but this is kind of ambiguous. So I don't know if I would put an explanation, if I will remove this question, because I don't think it's a good question. I probably would remove it. But either way, you could do those kinds of things as a teacher to then make it available for your students. You could always go back to the home screen. I have a let me see. So they have like, so let's try our chemistry, atoms, molecules, and ions PowerPoint. And I'll say undergrad. And I want it to generate me some flashcards based on this PowerPoint.
It looks like your message was cut off.
Oh,
Could you let me know which specific section or topic from the document you'd like to create flashcards about? For example, Dalton's atomic theory or the periodic table?
hold on. Let me go back then. wonder if I could do it from the test bank. No, this is exceptional learners test file. Create a quiz. Chemical foundations for college chemistry course.
Sounds great. I'll get a quiz prepared for you. It will be ready in just a moment.
Atomic number of carbon. $14. No, that's wrong. 12. No, that's wrong. 8. No, that's wrong. 6. You see, that's not giving me no points. It still didn't give me no points. Electrons have a positive charge. False. What is the property of metals? Now I'm starting to get points, you see on the side. The nucleus of an atom contains protons and electrons. False. Silicon. No. Oh, God. Oxygen. So now, y'all, my points. Y'all saw my points go down and go up. Sharing, covalent. So then I know how good or bad I'm doing. Isotopes, and I have 10 questions, are atoms of the same element with different numbers of neutrons. True. And which particle determines... Oh. So Avogadro number. Every element in the same period of the periodic table has the same number of electron cells. So I got like a 70. But I can also save these and add them to my library so that other students could use them, right? Save. So like when I go to my library, I could see the stuff that I put in here from this quiz. It'll go back and replay it, right? Even from the asthma action plan. So I go to my library. I can go back and replay. So I can go back over my flashcards again, all 20 of them. And they're saved. Isn't that amazing? So you can create an image, generate a quiz, create flashcards. One of the things I've never done really is create a conversation. Because I don't ever do that. But I got time since it's still trying to plug away on my huge PowerPoint that I probably shouldn't put up there. I probably should go back and show y'all the easier way to do it. But such is life. So what if I want to create a lesson on what did I say I needed to create for emerging technologies? Hold on. Courses. I did the metaverse. I got Gen AI. I got crypto, supercomputers, tiny atoms, maybe NFTs. Let's talk about NFTs. I didn't talk about blockchain. It's a little bit in crypto. So blockchain, NFTs. Let's go to blockchain. All right, we're gonna do blockchain. Create a lesson on blockchain for kids. Oh, man. What age or grade level are the kids, and how long should the lesson feel? Okay, so the grade level is 3 to 5th grade, 3rd to 5th grade. And the lesson should be 5 to 7 minutes long. Mention Bitcoin and NFTs, but note that they will be separate lessons. Okay, submit. Sorry, y'all. I got StreamYard, so I might as well use it. Yes, your nephews got me sick, Victor. Your nephews got me sick, child. All of them. Okay. All right. It starts off. What is digital money? What did I say? Blockchain? But I did say what Bitcoins and NFTs mentioned. So this is more like a cryptocurrency one. I kind of have one like this already. So maybe I should go back. Let me go back and specify that I just wanted to talk about the blockchain. Create a lesson specifically focused on the blockchain for kids and why it is relevant to understand as part of the emerging technologies landscape. Submit. Either way, you could keep playing with this and keep iterating and generating. Grades 3 through 5, 5 to 7 minutes. Computer science course for kids. The thing is, I'm such a perfectionist, right? So like writing an incomplete sentences almost like grinds my gears, but I'm doing it to see, does it really understand like how lazy um or how polished do I have to be? Does that affect the product? Does it understand me? Because kids, when they create, because we always, well, one of the highest forms of learning is teaching. And so when you want students to learn a particular thing, you want them to know how to teach it. So I always show my students how to create experiences in spaces that they want to be in. Okay, cool. What is blockchain for kids? Building digital Legos. And so then it's fixing that up. And then the scene, Coach Bite. We'll let Coach Bite teach it this time. I don't want him to be in a. Let's see what a CEO office looks like. I don't want him to be in a maybe a conference hall, Coach Bite. Or do you want to be in a hip hangout? Gaming center. Gaming center. Gaming center. I think you need to be in a gaming center. This works. Yeah. I don't want you in a science classroom. Gaming center. Yep. Let's see what his voice sounds like. Oh God, nerdy.
Okay, so technically this isn't rocket science, but if it were, we'd probably still overcomplicate it just for fun.
All right, I could dig it. It sounds like a Coach Bite. All right. We got a child building Legos. Scene. Now let's go back to the builder. Those are pictures that it generates. Okay. It's got a couple of multiple choice, true, false, multiple choice, true, false. So it's got about four questions. So save it. Let's play it. Mm, mm.
Hi everyone, I am Coach Byte, and today we are going to explore a very cool new idea in technology called the blockchain. You might have heard grown-ups talk about it, or maybe you saw it in a game or a video, and it sounded a little mysterious. In this lesson, we will break it into simple pieces so it feels more like playing with Lego blocks than reading a hard textbook. By the end, you will know what a blockchain is, how it works in a basic way, and why people all over the world are excited about it. You do not need to know any coding to follow along, just bring your curiosity and your imagination. Let us start with a kid-friendly picture of what blockchain means. Imagine a special class notebook where everyone in the class can see every page, and every time someone
Really? Like,
that lives on many computers instead of just one. Once something is written into that shared notebook, it is very hard to erase or secretly change, which makes it more trustworthy. People use this idea for digital money, for keeping track of game items, for digital art, and even for important records like tickets or certificates. You do not need to memorize the full definition. Just remember that blockchain is like a super shared notebook on computers that keeps a careful list of important things.
Hmm.
The best answer is false. A blockchain is not kept on just one computer that one person can control. Instead, many computers around the world keep copies of the same list, like many students all holding the same class notebook. When new information is added, the copies all agree on what should be written. This shared setup is one reason people think blockchain can help make digital information more fair and trustworthy, because it is harder for one person to secretly change things on their own. Now let us talk about why it is called a blockchain. Picture blocks like pages in that shared class notebook. Each block holds a bunch of records. For example, who traded which game card with whom, or who sent digital coins to which friend. When the block is full, it gets locked and added to the end of a long chain of older blocks. This chain shows everything that has happened from the very beginning up to now, in order, like a timeline. When new things happen, they do not erase the old blocks. They just create a new block at the end of the chain. That is why we call it a blockchain, a chain made of blocks of information linked together over time.
Hmm. And in that order.
A helpful way to imagine a blockchain is as a long chain of blocks or pages that record events in order. Each block is like a page that says, here are the things that happened during this time. When the page is full, we add it to the chain and start writing on a new page. The old pages are not thrown away. They stay in the chain as part of the history. Thinking of it as a chain of pages or blocks helps you remember that a blockchain saves information step by step over time, instead of changing one single note over and over. Take a look at this picture in your mind, or on the screen if you can see it. You might notice colorful toy blocks connected in a line, with labels like Block 1, Block 2, and Block 3. Each block stands for a group of records, and the chain shows how they all connect in time. The children looking at the digital notebook remind us that blockchain data is meant to be shared, not hidden in just one place. Visuals like this can help make a big idea feel more friendly and less.
How do we make sure that the data in the blocks remain the same and can't be changed?
Great question. Imagine building a tall tower of toy blocks. Each block has a special seal, like a magical sticker. This is like a hash that keeps each block safe. If you try to change anything inside a block, the sticker breaks, and everyone knows the block has been tampered with. This is how blockchain works. The hash ensures that each block is secure. If someone tries to change anything, it's easy to spot. So, the data stays safe and sound.
What happens if someone even tries to change something or like information in a block? Then what happens? So you can like talk and ask questions.
If someone tries to change the information in a block, it's like trying to sneak a different toy into our block tower. Remember that special hash or magical sticker? It would break. When the sticker breaks, everyone can see that the block has been tampered with. All the blocks that come after it would change too, making it easy to tell that something's wrong. That's why changing data in a blockchain is so tough. Everyone knows if something's been messed with.
Is that like metadata?
Great thought. Metadata is like a label or card on each block that describes what's inside. It gives information about the data, like when it was added. In a blockchain, the metadata will include the unique hash we talked about. If someone changes the block, the metadata helps in spotting the change because the hash won't match anymore. It's like a security system to ensure everything stays just right. Scary. And they remind you that complex technology still starts from
So then
simple
you can
building
continue.
blocks. Might have is why should anyone trust a bunch of computers instead of a teacher or a bank? The answer has to do with how the computers work together. Many different computers keep copies of the same blockchain, like many students each having the same notebook. When someone wants to add new information, like a trade or a payment, the computers compare notes and agree on.
So it's cool. So now I have that lesson. I could go back into my library create. Sessions, no. Create an AI experience. Asset catalog. Yes, well, no. 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 I think on guys. Okay, here we go. I was about to say, I know I have gotten probably past my time of being so blockchain for kids. This is the thing, and I'm gonna add this to my course on emerging technologies for kids. So now, if I go to my emerging technology for kids course, I have the Metaverse Unlocked, Gen AI, Crypto Kids, supercomputers, GPUs, tiny atoms, Internet of Things, extended reality, biotechnology, and human body systems, coding, data science, digital worlds, digital citizenship and cybersecurity, career pathways, and blockchain. But I want career pathways to be last. So save those changes. And I'm going to stop sharing because it looks like I need to go take a nap because I don't feel good. But I am excited about this Holotutor. Like, this is so cool. Like, it has given me life to be able to create and to imagine what lessons look like for my students, giving them 24/7 personalized experience without me having to be there. And they can create their own lessons and test each other and create their own flashcards and test themselves and all that cool stuff. So, yeah, I really, really like this new update. And I spend a lot of time here because that's what I do. I test and test and test and test and make sure it's giving me the right information. So, if you have any questions, reach out to me, unitedmetaverse.com. Talk to you later.